So Persona 4 Revival does look pretty good, and I am one of the people who is a fan of Persona 3 Reload. I guess I don't know a lot of people that weren't a fan per se, but there was definitely enough changes about that game that made a lot of people go like, okay, like I'll just stick with the original Persona 3 because it's not the Persona 3 Reload, and then we'll get into Revival. It's not the like, you know, whole Atlas's normal kind of mantra of we make our original version and then we make a new version later, like FES or Golden or Royal, that is just typically superior. In many ways, usually quality of life changes, but Persona 5 Royal is actually like insane. But that's off topic. Point being is Persona 4 Revival, I think it looks like they're going a little bit farther than what they did with Reload. Like watching the trailer, I'm like, wow, there's a lot here that feels like they're taking it, well, like I said, steps further than what they did. Reload felt like they made the exact same game with some quality of life changes that they carried from Royal. And this feels like they went a little more all out. But it does in some ways also still feel like Persona 5, but if it, like the Persona 5 style, if it was in Persona 4, which is what Reload kind of was. I love the menu screens. I think the characters look great. It looks a little brighter. Some people were talking, like comparing the, character models of the original to this one. And I think the biggest thing is like the shading is different, but I don't think one is better or worse than the other. I think just Revival just like looks a little brighter everywhere. And it'll be interesting to see these like 3D model cutscenes, like the Persona 5 style 3D model cutscenes, because I don't know. Like, it's when I first saw it in the trailer, I didn't think positive or negative, but it was definitely jarring. They have more of the Persona 5 style dungeon system, a little bit more of the what's the baton pass? They call it shift and reload. If you've played Reload, I don't know what they're calling it in this game, but that whole mechanic. So yeah, there's a lot going on there. I was a little surprised. 2027. I thought for sure this was gonna come out this year, and because obviously the Xbox Game Showcase also announced, surprise, Persona 6, and I got some thoughts on that too, separate video. But are they really going to release both of these in 2027? I guess so, because I'm pretty sure Persona 6 is coming out next year. I cannot imagine that they announced Persona 6 2 years ahead of time. I don't think that would be the case. But yeah, all different voice actors. That didn't surprise me. Like a lot of people kind of complained about that, but I wasn't. They did that with Reload, so I was like, okay, like I'm sure that this is gonna have all different people. I will say a little bit of a bummer. Like I'm waiting to see these new voices. They gave us very small snippets in the trailer, right? But Persona 3, the original, had very good notable voice actors with some missteps, if you will. And Persona 4, when that one came out, they got much more notable ones. Like they had Troy Baker. They had, Laura Bailey, Yuri Lowenthal, like some of the biggest voice actors and actresses today, right? Chie's was kind of weird. They changed her to Erin Fitzgerald, and now Erin Fitzgerald's gone. I know she liked Chie. I like Erin Fitzgerald, but I was never a big fan of that one. And I know a lot of people talk about the original Chie being so great. I wasn't a big fan of that one either. I feel like they've never nailed Chie, so that is one character I'm looking forward to seeing how they do in this. I think Aaron Fitzgerald had the personality for Chie, but the actual voice was a little too much for me. I loved Yuri Lowenthal as Yosuke, so that is one that I was like instant, like that'll be missed. And I love Troy Baker as Kanji. Yeah, those two will be missed. Laura Bailey I love too, but when they changed her in, was it the dancing game? I think it was the dancing game. I didn't mind it. It was similar enough. But yeah, Teddy's been changed a couple times, so the voice actors in Persona 4 changing isn't anything new anyways. I'm looking forward to hearing new voices. I don't have a problem with that. I'm a little less nitpicky about the remake, and my expectations are just like, well, I just need the quality of life changes. But for fans who are like, I want like a new Persona 4 experience while still keeping the heart of the original, kind of like they do with Resident Evil. Nobody does it better than Resident Evil, right? Might be disappointed. I think they're taking longer leaps, like I said. But I just think it's still going to be much of the same. I'm expecting, like, review-wise, like, let's say 8 out of 10. 8.5, something like that. I think that's what Reload did. I don't think this is going to be a groundbreaking, crazy remake. I think it's going to be for people who want a modernized version of Persona 4 who haven't really experienced the game. Yeah. That is all my thoughts on that. Okay, there was one last thing I wanted to touch on that I did forget about. So I started a new recording video here. That collector's edition is absolutely effed. That is ridiculous. Like $250 is that? I gotta get that right. Persona 4. I'm typing it in. Persona 4 Revival Collector's Edition. And it's like, it's just not even crazy. I buy all the Personas, like, collector's editions, right? And Persona, yeah, $250. Oh, man. I love the Steelbook. I'm looking at it right now. I'll post it on the screen, too. The biggest thing is it comes with all that DLC. And then there's, like, a statue. The Persona 3 Reload came out, and that collector's edition was absolutely ridiculous. And I couldn't bring myself to buy. I was like, nope, it's too much. That is finally out of my price range. The DLC is already a lot. I do like the keycaps. I like the box. I like the art book. I like the Steelbook. I like all this stuff. I just don't think it's for $250. The statue, probably not that great. I bet I have, I bet I have, better statues in my room right now. The Persona 3 Reload Collector's Edition, if you get it like third party, it's not even that much right now. I would personally hold off on this. I don't think there's going to be FOMO. And here's the thing, like I was saying, the DLC is a big reason why, because this DLC is very expensive if you want all of it. This Persona DLC goes on sale all the time. All the time. So I will not be buying this collector's edition. It's way too much. I don't know if this is more of like a Sega publishing thing ever since like Sega took over years ago. Persona 5's collector's editions were reasonable. I thought the Royal Treasure Chest one was not very interesting, but it wasn't like, I don't remember the price, but I don't recall it being like this ridiculous. And Persona 5 Original was a great collector's edition. It's kind of hard to find now, if I recall. But yeah, I wanted to throw that in there because I was like, that's the biggest baloney shit sandwich I ever saw.